Hello guys, today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Unbox USB Type-C hub for MacBook Pro. It's for other devices, but we're going to be using it on the M1 MacBook Pro that I've been using for a couple of months now. We're going to be comparing this dock to this other dock by MacLeod, which I've so far had a really good time with, and this hyperdrive dock, which I'm not a huge fan of. Before I cut this open, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos like this. Whenever I get something new for my computer, I always try to do a review on it. It's not required, but I really appreciate it, and it gives me the motivation to keep making more videos. So without further ado, let's get this guy open. So that's the plastic wrap off. And here's the actual device itself. It comes with a manual. A pretty good manual, actually. It's not the standard tissue paper crap that you normally get with manuals. In fact, I'd even say this is better than the one that came with my MacLeod and hyperdrive. Here's the actual device itself. It's in a vacuum-fitted plastic type thing. Not the best for the environment. I'd prefer maybe a cardboard insert, but that's okay. So the dock has a nice long cable and 3 USB 3 ports. It also has an SD card slot, as well as a trans flash slot, which is more colloquially known as micro SD. It also has an HDMI slot, which is really nice for external displays and stuff like that. Compared to my MacLeod dock, the cable's quite a bit longer, as you can see. So that, well, actually not like quite a bit longer, but it's, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more flexible and nice in the hands. Compared to the MacLeod dock, it has the same amount of ports really. The only difference that I can really see with the MacLeod is that it's got power delivery, so you can plug your charger in here and this will supply power to your computer. Compared to the hyperdrive, the hyperdrive only has 2 ports, but it does have 2 USB-C 3s, or Thunderbolt 3s actually. So that is quite nice, and it's got all the same HDMI, and yeah, so it's not terrible in terms of ports. Moving on to just general build quality. The MacLeod and the Unbox feel about the same. I'd say maybe the MacLeod is a little bit heavier, but that could be down to the power delivery electronics. The hyperdrive is light, pretty angular. I don't like how it hangs off of the computer like that. That's my main gripe. Yeah. I'm gonna move over to a full-on setup now that's gonna include this plugged in, and also using a couple of flash drives so that we can get a full gauge of how well it works under pressure, as well as getting a gauge of how hot it gets, because that's a really common thing with these docks. That's actually the main thing that holds the hyperdrive back, is that it gets really hot. So we'll just have to see, because that could really be the make or break when it comes to external docks. If they get too hot, it starts to get worrying. So here's our first hurdle. The USB ports are way too close together, meaning that most flash drives are going to have trouble all fitting in there. This was also a problem on the hyperdrive dock, which was exacerbated by the fact that it only really had 2 ports. So the fact that they were placed so close together really meant you only had 1 usable port at one given. On the dock by MacLeod, this isn't that much of an issue since the ports are well spaced and all ports can be filled completely.
By the way, I love
audio also works when displaying through this external display over HDMI.
Easy to work with, and there's plenty of workflow methods out there, so no matter what.
So I've been using it for about a half an hour, watching some videos and editing some photos. Not bad, not bad. Definitely a lot better than the Hyperdock, which will turn your hands into bacon. I'd say it's about comparable to the Falwetti, if not a little bit cooler, but at that point you're just splitting hairs. I definitely will say that I recommend the Tanbo if you don't have a lot of money to spend, or if you don't need the power delivery. I do really like how the Falwetti just feels a little bit more premium, especially when it comes to the cable. It's a lot thicker, but it's really a personal preference, and I think most people could get by with the Tanbo.